Here's my 2 cents about intermittent fasting. Do I follow it? Do I not? Stay tuned to find out. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more interesting tips like this. So sometimes I end up intermittent fasting, even though it's not really on purpose. I do try to drink, like I said, at least a liter of water before I eat anything. And sometimes that means that I don't eat until 9 or 10. Just depends on how my morning is going. I oftentimes do a lot of things in the morning, and then I don't get to eating until around 9 or 10. And I typically like to finish eating around 6 or 7 at night just because I don't like to go to bed on a full stomach. Not necessarily to follow an intermittent fasting schedule, but I just feel like that helps me sleep a lot better if I'm not full on digesting overnight. I get a much more restful night of sleep. So oftentimes it's usually, 10 to 6 type of a situation. But if I'm hungry later and I need to go to bed, I'm not going to go to bed starving. So I will eat something really simple that's super easy to digest, like a piece of fruit or something like that, just to not go to bed starving, because then obviously I won't get that much sleep either, because I'll just be thinking about that. And then if I'm super starving in the morning, I eat in the morning and I just sip on my water throughout the day, and I definitely still get in the 1/2 to 1 gallon of water a day either way. So that's just my thoughts on that. I have tried intermittent fasting in the past, and it worked for me really well. I used to be one of those people that would get hangry, like crazy hangry between meals. If I didn't have any food, if I went way too long without food, I would just get ravenous, and it was uncontrollable. And by intermittent fasting, it actually helped me to calm that down. I haven't had any issues with that since I did the intermittent fasting, and I was even doing like a 12 to 4 type situation. But for me, it did feel kind of restrictive, and it was strange to me that I was looking at my watch to tell me when I was supposed to eat. I'm like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I guess I should have breakfast now because I'm within my eating window, where to me that doesn't seem that natural. Because back in the day, when we were living in caves or on islands and things like that, we didn't have watches, so we just were eating more intuitively. So I feel like that's much more of a natural way of eating. And so I try to listen to my body more and do that type of eating, intuitive eating at this point. So that's just my 2 cents. I know it works for a lot of people, and that's just how I feel. I really have issues with feeling restricted. So that was one thing definitely that I noticed when I was doing that, is that I just felt a little more restricted. So I'm a little more loose on that. But like I said, I do end up still having kind of a, 8 to 10 hour eating window anyway. So there is all the way overnight and then through the morning that that I'm not eating. So in a way I am intermittent fasting, but I don't call it that, and it's definitely not as strict.